can be. Slow computers, email problems, security scares, and nobody to call. Fuse.cloud is like having your own IT department without having to build one. They do it all. Computer support, backups, cybersecurity, email hosting, even help your internet run smoother. Whether you've got no IT team or just need backup for your crew, Fuse.cloud has your back. Fuse.cloud, F-U-S-E, Fuse.cloud. They are local. Now, they do business all over the country, as technology companies do. But Fuse.cloud is the place to go. And their headquarters right here in Jackson, Mississippi. And Fuse.cloud, love working with them. And when I was with them down in Auburn, Alabama, for example, they had a client down there. And so, but obviously they have many clients here in the state of Mississippi. F-U-S-E, Fuse.cloud will be your IT department. We're live in the Bank Plus studio, Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. You can watch the show right now on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. I need to lay this out for you before we get into some more of the SEC schedule, which we went very rare. We went heavy sports the first two segments. We will have some what I call entertainment, pop culture segments today. But I do need to let you know that one of our clients is doing something awesome, one of our partners, and that is Elijah Craig Bourbon. Old Fashioned Week starts today. All right. And it's what Elijah Craig does is it's a 10-day celebration, and it returns this fall to bars and restaurants nationwide. I think they've got 90 activations in the state of Mississippi with restaurants and bars, from DeSoto County down to the Beau Rivage and many, many places in between. Each year they invite bourbon fans to discover creative twists on the classic cocktail. And that is the Elijah Craig Old Fashioned. And so as part of their celebration, Elijah Craig pledges to donate $1 for every Old Fashioned sold to bar and restaurant workers in need. And so thanks to you, they've raised well over $500,000 since 2020. They've really just started this, and sip and support, and $1 for every Old Fashioned sold benefits restaurant service industry, which is people who make our Friday nights fun, right? Bartenders, waiters, waitresses, and so on. So, for example, like Taste Italian Kitchen, they're in. All right. And we'll be there next week. Actually, that's going to be one of our stops. Next Wednesday, 3:30 to 5, Taste Italian Kitchen. Tuesday, 3:30 to 5, we'll be at Spring Street Cigars in Jackson, inside the Rogue. What?
I thought you mean we were doing the show from 3:35. I was like, whoa, hold on, wait, what now?
No.
Okay, threw me off for a second, yeah.
No. Are you okay?
Yeah, I was thrown out. Well, I'm interested. I was looking at that thing, and it caught my eye yesterday.
Oh.
And I like it a lot. And
okay.
But I'm ready. I need to see how you do it. Because I'm gonna do one. I've never made an old fashioned in my life.
That doesn't surprise me.
Shouldn't.
It's not hard, and we will walk you through it.
Nice.
Okay? So like I'm gonna make an old fashioned in the third hour, live on YouTube, behind the bar, so that we can get Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week kicked off. Now, it sounds weird. I say week, but it's today through the next Sunday. So October 10th through October 19th. They want to catch 2 weekends. I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So that's why they're starting it on a Friday, but calling it Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week, raising money for the service industry. And I think that's awesome. Yeah. And, I bartended, and I waited tables, but I did more bartending. And it was a great opportunity. I think everybody should be in the service industry for at least a few months to really figure out what the world's all about. And for me, I got to work at some really high quality, really, really good places. And that's pretty awesome. Or I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was a ton of fun, met a ton, and we still use it today. I think that's obvious.
Yeah.
The way the show is set up
No doubt.
with the restaurants and bars that we have on the show, casino, whatever, the entertainment piece of what we do. For those, we just had someone ask, and Jackson kind of asked, and I've got most of this except the orange swath. But it's 2 ounces of Elijah Craig small batch bourbon, or whatever, you can use the rye, but work with me. 2 ounces Elijah Craig small batch bourbon. It's 0.25 ounces simple syrup. You can go either way on that, as you know. 3 dashes of bitters. An orange swath for a garnish, and a branded cherry. I don't have that, but I did bring. There may be some cherries downstairs at Beagle Bagel. I may run to the store actually real quick during a break and get some branded cherries. But if not, we're going to do this next week too, so I can get it done. I did bring an apple, which I can peel.
Ooh, I like that.
And still I can use the apple as the orange swath for the garnish. And we'll see what we do on the rest. But it's super easy. Now, what they do is Elijah Craig does these old-fashioned cocktail kits. I've got one here on the set. And so you'll see it at, like, Briarwood Wine and Spirits has it. Nathan has it right now. So it's a bottle of Elijah Craig small batch bourbon, and then it's their old-fashioned syrup. So you don't have to do anything. It's there. Okay, and then there's a little shot glass to measure, but it's an Elijah Craig, bourbon pack, and they're selling these, and it's pretty awesome. Oh, we're giving away one today. Yeah. We're giving away one today. You must be 21 years or older. Okay,
With proof of ID.
With proof of ID, but we're giving away one of these prize packs. Elijah Craig, they are really, really nice. First to char oak barrels. And Elijah Craig was one of the founding fathers of bourbon, the 3 guys. He was one of the 3 in Kentucky many, many years ago. I did see this. There's an espresso. There's an Elijah Craig espresso old-fashioned recipe.
Okay, I thought I saw that.
So it's the same thing. It's add 2 ounces of Elijah Craig small batch bourbon. Then add a half ounce or tablespoon of espresso old-fashioned cocktail syrup. Stir well until chilled. Garnish with an orange peel or a branded cherry. Okay. Interesting. That'll work. That'll work. But we're giving away one of these. So let's lay that out. What do I want to do as far as the question? I know that we're going to ask people radio or streaming and where they're listening from. What's the third?
Did game of the week? Do the game of the week yesterday.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
I don't know if that means people are into the MVP of the NFL.
Not yet.
Okay,
It's your turn.
I mean, I know the debates around Baker Mayfield and Dak.
That's where it ends. Oh,
The problem is Dak and the Cowboys don't have the wins. That's not on Dak,
No.
but Tampa Bay's got a better record. So it's easy to lean. And
now.
It's also a record game. I mean, it's also a record award. You have to be good, but your team has to be good. Like, you couldn't be Dan Fouts
No.
from the Chargers when, he would be unbelievable, but they wouldn't win enough games. Or, Dan Marino with the Dolphins or some other examples. So let me throw out the text line, 601-885-3776. 601-885-3776. Are you listening on radio, 105.9 The Zone, or are you streaming the show on the Out of Bounds radio app or thezone1059.com? And where are you listening from? Where are you listening from? Brandon, Vicksburg, Atlanta. And then, what'd you say?
So you can throw it around in an old fashioned if you want to.
Throw it around in an old
Or
fashioned?
throw it around if you want to make the question around an old fashioned. It is old fashioned.
Yeah, but that still
Tough.
may be a small percentage of
Yeah.
people. I mean, while I understand that it is come back as one of the leading cocktails in the country because of the bourbon boom in the last 15 years.
Right.
And actually, now that I think about it, in steakhouses, I think it's got to be one of the top 5 cocktails ordered since the bourbon boom, right? Now, I made a ton of them when I was bartending in 1996 at Nick's and Shapley's. But then it went away. That was kind of that was really geared towards most everybody over 55. Now you've got young people your age and even, guys that are out of college, 24, 25, if they're at a steakhouse tonight here or in Oxford or on the coast, they're going to call for an old fashioned.
Yeah. I mean, I actually like them.
Mm-hmm.
My sister liked them.
Really?
Yeah. I remember you introduced her. We went to, that's why we were in Harrisburg.
When you went to Crescent City?
Yeah. She never had one. So,
y'all had an old fashioned that night? Or she did?
Yeah, we both had one. We had to show her.
I don't see you as. I'm proud of you, but I don't see you as an old fashioned guy.
No. We had an old fashioned incident.
Oh,
that's what I'll call it. I really liked them a lot for a span of at least 6 hours, and they just.
That night?
No, not that night. Thankfully, no.
Okay.
It was a college night, and it was a tough morning. The next morning, very very tough one.
Yeah, I mean, 1 or 2 is plenty.
Somebody had a special on them.
You've got to be careful with the simple
syrup, right? Yeah,
exactly. That's why
it yanks me.
If you've been with me, and there are probably some people listening, if I order an Elijah Craig Old Fashioned, I say I don't want it sweet. Bartenders seem to want to make that cocktail sweet. We're already in a sweet area in the South with sweet tea and all the sugar that we like to consume, and I think it's just natural. And too much sauce on fish or whatever.
Dump it.
Pasta and blue plates. We tend to like to go heavy. So there's my theory is go with half of what it calls for.
You'll probably nail it. At least down here, right? I mean,
that's different.
We hammer things home.
Yes.
I think it's the whole, I'm getting my money's worth type deal.
I do think that there's some of that, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
When you make Kool-Aid, no one's ever making it to, or sweet tea. They're dumping sugar in that thing.
Oh, Kool-Aid's awful.
Oh.
I didn't even like it as a kid.
Come on.
RT says the new Maple Bar in Crescent City is one of the coolest places in the state. It is.
Yeah.
The Maple Bar in Crescent City is really well done. They did a great job converting that. I've been several times the last few months. We were down there for the Mississippi State Southern Miss game. I didn't stay for the game, but we did the remote and stayed down there and all that kind of stuff. Robert's on the Golden Moon Casino text line and says, I have to run to Corinth this morning. I'll swing by Monday and pick the package up. Nice. Thank you guys so much.
Corinth.
I don't think you just run to Corinth.
No.
Like, can I get to, from here to Corinth, here to Atlanta, there's not that much difference, is it?
You're on 20.
I'm by the time you get to Corinth, I'm what, an hour outside of Atlanta? I can start hitting suburbs and feeling the Atlanta buzz. I think I can get to Destin, maybe not 38. Definitely Orange Beach. All right, that I can get to Orange Beach just as fast as you can get to Corinth. That's incredible, isn't it?
Whoa. Yeah. It's 230 miles from here. That is a trek.
Look, it's a beautiful area. But I'm not going unless something really cool's happening. How about that?
Hey, it's got to be pretty dang cool.
I told you I went in college once to a party, and I felt like it took us forever to get there, and it just kind of...
Doing what?
Long story. Corinth is RT just nailed it. Corinth is a suburb of Nashville. All right, we'll just ask the question. Where do you get the best old-fashioned?
Yeah, we go.
In the state or out of state? So here are the 3 questions you have to answer on the text line to enter to win a bottle of Elijah Craig small batch bourbon, a bottle of the Elijah Craig simple syrup, and they've got a little shot glass here too, which is really cool. And these are the combo kits that you'll see in some of the wine and spirit stores, including Briarwood Wine and Spirits. And I'm confident Lincoln Road. I can text Jamie, but I mean, the Bourbon King's got to have them.
Yeah.
Jamie Ferris with Lincoln Road. So here's the deal. One, are you listening on 105.9 The Zone, or are you streaming the show? You have to answer all these questions. So are you listening on 105.9 The Zone, or are you streaming the show? Where are you listening from? And who makes the best old fashioned, in your opinion? And then let's go with one more. Your game of the week.
Yeah.
Dole's coming in hot. He says, I'm listening in Oxford, Mississippi. I'm listening on the Out of Bounds radio app, and he's got Jackson Dart for MVP. Of course you do.
Know what I'm talking about.
So Jackson Dart and Cam Scattaboo get a win over the Philadelphia Eagles last night. Let's also give the New York Football Giants defense some props. And as TJ said on the text line, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator. He said Saquon had 8 carries for 58 yards in the first half, and he had 4 carries and 0 yards in the second half. But the Giants won a big game. Scattaboo was awesome. Dart played well, and their defense played well. Yeah. And the Giants beat the Eagles. It looks like to me like the Eagles have a Super Bowl hangover and a Kellen Moore hangover. Now, Kellen Moore may not work as head coach for the New Orleans. These are two separate things.
Right.
Kellen Moore may or may not work as the New Orleans Saints head coach. But he was a pretty damn good play caller up with the Eagles, and he was able to handle Hurts because they got some big egos. Hurts, Saquon, and AJ, there's a lot going on there. A.J. Brown's been frustrated for a while, was really frustrated until they got the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah.
And then now he's been frustrated this year. Jalen Hurts doesn't even look like he's having fun. And then Saquon is like, what the hell's going on? I'm used to just kind of sleepwalking to 130 to 140 yards.
Yeah.
And so the Eagles, to me, have a Super Bowl hangover, Kellen Moore hangover. They were able to get out of the gate. They were outgained and really outplayed at times, but kept winning early. And now they've gone back-to-back losses.
They got lucky early.
Yeah.
They blocked 3 kicks.
They did.
Who does that?
Well, and let's be honest,
in a year.
The Rams had them beat.
Yeah. I mean, who blocks 3 kicks in a year, let alone
I don't know what Sean McVay was doing because he is one hell of a football coach, but he frustrated me because I needed the Eagles to lose for the Cowboys to just have, like I said, just a sliver of a shot to maybe get in late December and early January, even with the worst defense in the league. And I guess the question is, can the Cowboys move up to like 22nd?
Yes. I don't think it's dead.
Can they move up to 22nd? I don't think they'll stay at number 1 offensively because of their schedule.
Right.
And because of offensive line injuries, and we'll see with CD, but can they stay in the 8 to 10 range? Because Dak's going to ball most weekends. He's not going to play like he's played every week. And neither is Mahomes or Josh Allen. I mean, Josh Allen struggled a lot of the night on Sunday night last weekend. But, yeah. All right. So that's how you enter to possibly win this unbelievable Elijah Craig bar kit or old-fashioned cocktail kit. Thank you. Elijah Craig old-fashioned cocktail kit. The text line, 601-885-3776. Are you listening on 105.9 The Zone or streaming? Where are you listening from? Where do you order your favorite old-fashioned from? And what is your game of the week? Tomorrow morning, you're going to have to be ready early. Ole Miss fans have to get out there early. We talked about that in the first segment. Ole Miss fans, it's an 11. Now, you don't have the 11 a.m. game like Bama at Missouri, but you have the 11:45 game.
Right.
The weather was 58 degrees. It's going to be even cooler in Oxford tomorrow morning early. The weather was 58 degrees when I got up this morning. You're looking at even cooler and a high of 77 in Oxford. It looks amazing as far as the weather. But it won't even be 77 at kickoff. It'll still be in the 60s.
Yeah.
That is fabulous.
You know what we call that, right?
I call that Elijah Craig cocktail weather.
Yeah, fair weather.
Okay.
Fair's in town, baby.
Oh, I thought you were talking about fair weather fans. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
No.
That does make sense, what you just said. Good for the fair to have a great weather weekend.
No doubt.
I want them to, I mean, it's not for me, but I made that run. I mean, I enjoyed going as a kid, and I took my kids as kids. But I'm good now.
The city needs it.
Absolutely. I love it when
Needs it, yeah.
Well, and Senator Horn and the city will continue to do, or Mayor Horn, and the city will continue to do amazing things. But if you're going to the fair, have a great time and be careful.
Yeah.
And for those of you out there, don't clown around. It's a family thing.
Come on.
Kids are wanting to have a good time. Don't go down there and act up. So
Estimated $33 million economic impact last year.
33 mil? That's freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
Good. Jared says, good morning. I'm listening on the radio from work, truck, in Flora. Local 463 has a cherry-infused Elijah Craig old-fashioned that is fire. Hell yes. And then he says, Cam Scattaboo is a beast. Go Giants. Love it. Unnamed texter listening on 105.9 The Zone from Florence, old-fashioned from Local 463.
Nice.
Texas-Oklahoma game. Bo, they have Elijah Craig at local. Yes, they do. That's from Chris. Jake from Yazoo. Got to be the Pontchartrain Hotel roof in NOLA.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
That's a good spot.
That is a good spot. Game of the week, Rebs rolling to 6-0. Yeah, baby. Wes says, I'm listening on the radio. I'm headed to Choctaw County, not Corinth, but close enough. He says, Tico's, Auburn, Georgia, always a hell of a game. I think it could be an amazing game tomorrow on the plains. 100,000 people going crazy down on the plains in Auburn. War Eagle Rich says Kessler Prime, baby. And he is listening on the app, rolling through the Northwest Louisiana. Hell yeah, be careful, man. We'll be back in a second. Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week starts today.
Stand by for audio. Got it.
It's 8 a.m. and you're... Studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds.
Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app.
And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
I like this giveaway. I do. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, brought to you by Kessler Prime and the Renaissance. KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation for a delicious steak and a good glass of wine or bourbon. Kessler Prime and the Renaissance. Hope you're doing well. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. We'll have Steve Palazzolo, NFL Podcast of the Year. His show, Catch the Mic. Check the mic. What am I talking about? Catch the mic. What the hell's wrong with me? His show, Check the Mic. Steve Palazzolo will join us at 8:30. And then Fat Jack Ross will be back, too. We weren't on last Friday, I don't think. Where was I? I was on my guy's trip down on the beach. It's been a weird week and a half, but fun. And you know, we went to Las Vegas Sunday through Wednesday, or I guess I got back on Wednesday. God, that's a terrible flight. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just not awesome. But we were able to generate content out there, and it was good. You know, we had Steve Robertson on, which is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts right now. We had Tom Luganville on, Mike Detillier.
Yeah, we set ourselves up for future content.
That's right. That's right.
And
even though I didn't get to interview Dan Mullen, Dan did say he'll be on, I think, in 2 weeks.
Oh, future content.
Yeah.
And a tease.
He did. And so I'm excited about that. And he wants me to come out there next spring. We didn't get out there last spring, but wants us to get out there next spring. It was funny when we were talking to Dan, when I went over to UNLV to hang out with Mullen. And they gave me a golf shirt. Did I tell you that?
Nice. No.
Yeah, Dan gave me a golf shirt.
Nice. Well done.
UNLV black, which I like, you know, and the UNLV red with the Nike swoosh.
I love their colors.
I do too.
That's great.
Well, they've got Georgia. So as a kid,
it is
my favorite colors were Georgia because they were black, red, and white.
Yeah, but
and just the combo of that, and then UNLV
splash it in the silver too, though.
They both do. And,
that's right.
But you're right, Georgia more so.
Yeah.
Maybe UNLV does.
I
think
their helmets
they do.
are incredible.
Yeah. That's right. But as Mullen and I were talking on whatever day I was there, he was funny because he said everybody comes to Vegas, and I looked at him. He said everybody does what you did. They text me when they come to Vegas, and he said obviously it's during the season. He was going to practice, so I didn't get the time. You know, he still gave me 20 minutes, which was kind.
That's a lot.
And I got a tour with him in the building of the new football facility, which is fabulous. And again, it's right there. I mean, it's looking at the strip. It's incredible.
So
and it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around that there's a college, and it's been there. I mean, Tark the Shark coached there for years, and Randall Cunningham played quarterback there, but that there is a college one street off of the strip, and that Dan Mullen's office on the second floor of the football facility is all windows. It's a wraparound office, right?
It's
all windows, and you can see all the casinos, resorts, and casinos.
That office has a sex appeal.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, that's what I want my office to look like.
Yeah.
A guy named Sliced Bread.
I did not see. I may have run into Sliced Bread in Vegas and just didn't know it.
Yeah, Probably so.
Maybe it was the casino host that told me he hosted Sir Richard Branson, which I went, okay, I get it now. I get how y'all roll here at the Wynn. Got it.
Dang.
And he wasn't saying it in any kind of braggadocious way.
Right.
He was just saying, yeah. And he said, oh, yeah, Paul McCartney's come through and da-da-da. And I'm sitting there. Anyway, back to what Dan was saying is everybody goes through Vegas at some point usually for a conference or to go to the Spear or just to have fun.
Yeah, it's Vegas.
Catch a show,
Yeah.
food, and
Party.
gamble a little bit. Right. Y'all know this because y'all are grown-ups, most of you. We're still trying to figure out if Jackson is.
Yeah,
but
you're not addressing me here, but go ahead.
you did just tell me that you rode a horse bareback.
I did do that.
During the break, and I may have to address that too. But because somehow we talked about the Cattlemen's Association, and then you let me know that even though you weren't ever going to run cattle, that you did ride a horse bareback.
I think I could rope them.
But the one thing that I've done a lot of my life is wake up early in casinos and go down and get coffee.
Yeah.
Or whatever I got prior to drinking coffee. And it's funny when you're in Vegas and you get down there about 6:50 in the morning because they're still wrapping up the night.
Right.
So you've got the crew that's up. You'll have guys, they're already in their button-down shirts. And, they got their earbuds in and they've got their laptops up and they're maybe on the phone or something. You got women in their business suits and all that. But then you got people that have just wrapped up the night. So it is a fascinating dynamic. It is. That I have, whether I've done shows at Pearl River Resort, the Beau Rivards, the Hard Rock, or just getting up in Las Vegas to start to prepare to do a show. It's just funny.
And it happens at all of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yes.
Because I've lived that.
Yes, you have. Well, hell, you've lived it when you were my producer the first time around.
On air.
And you chased the deal a lot. You thought you could do it because I remember at least one trip you went to bed about 5.
Yeah.
And we had to start at 7.
Yeah, it was a tough one.
Yeah.
Tough turnaround.
You looked awful.
Yeah, I made money that day, though.
And again, we've talked about this. That was the time where during a break, you went back out there and won some money. Are you telling me we have a caller?
Yeah, man. Steven from Nashville. He called in the last segment. I told him, call me back at the top of the hour.
Okay.
And he's dedicated. So
okay.
I like that.
All right. You didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Steven, it looks like, is down on the coast for cruising for the coast. He is from Nashville. Is this my man, Stephen Farr?
It sure is, Bo. How are you?
Good morning, buddy. How you doing?
I almost fell asleep on hold there for the last 6-7
Well,
minutes,
that's on
but
Jackson.
Anyway,
So
still here.
Yeah, that's on me.
What's up?
So, Bo, we got our Miss 10 Cup,
Oh.
and I'm headed to Old Waverly right now.
Oh.
And old fashioned. We put the old in fashion. So, but this cruising the coast thing, it's crazy. This morning I woke up 6-ish, and I heard this rumbling, and I opened my window, and there they are. They're all lined up, driving into Ocean Springs.
Yeah.
I've got this theory that the guys driving those cars are the same age as their cars.
Yes, they are.
There was a guy driving a 1929, Ford T, and he was every bit of 96 years old. So, pretty sure that would be pretty accurate.
I love
Anyway, it's a great day. This is kind of like Christmas Day for these old-fashioned guys. So, looking forward to winning and bringing our trophy home. It's the Beast, which is a woman weightlifter with Mississippi on one end of the barbell and Tennessee on the other.
I love it.
So go Tennessee.
I love it. Stephen Farr, it was great to hear from you. Y'all have a blast at Old Waverly, and I'm glad you got your pad down in Ocean Springs. We appreciate the call on the Michelob Ultra caller line, and I hope y'all have some ice-cold Michelob Ultras at Old Waverly. Yeah, cruising the coast is an unbelievable moneymaker for the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And it's perfect, as Stephen said, our last caller, Stephen Farr, who's going to play at Old Waverly this weekend, driving up from Ocean Springs. I like that. He said, hey, there's older people here, and there is. But it's perfect for the casinos because that 60 and up group plays slots. And casinos love it when you play slots. Because that's the gravy train, baby.
Hey.
And the 60 and older crowd will sit and play slots, and they'll go and check out the cars and talk to people. And do they want 30-year-olds? Sure.
Yeah.
And do 30-year-olds go down to the coast and have a great time? Absolutely. But when you're talking about cruising the coast, and that was funny when Stephen was like, I think everybody's as old as the car that they're showcasing this week. We broadcast from down there twice for Cruising the Coast, and it was a ton of fun. And it's unbelievable what Woody Bailey, and he's an amazing businessman down on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, but he has poured his heart and soul into Cruising the Coast. Really? And an insane amount of people go down there and spend several days and spend money in our wonderful state, dining and staying at casinos, resorts, and hotels, and buying things, and it's massive. I remember one year Governor Bryant had a car in it. Yeah, because we were at the White House Hotel.
Nice. Yeah.
I eventually ended up with some buddies on the rooftop bar with cigars later, but I remember seeing Phil at the time, who was the governor, and he had a car there, and so did someone else that's in the public sector, or whatever you want to say.
Probably checks out with the age then.
Yeah. But it's a great, it's like the ultimate, it's perfect the way it's set up because it's people that have built disposable income.
Right.
And because that's what the casinos are trying to figure out is how, because 25 and 30-year-olds want to sit on their couch and order DoorDash.
Yes.
And the generation 60 and older wants to mingle with each other. And I think it's going to work out, but the 25, 30, and 35-year-olds are going to have to get out of their house.
Yeah.
Because it's sitting in your house, and playing on your phone and ordering DoorDash is not a way to live.
Lame.
You need to be out and engaging with people. But in fact, that was something that was brought up at the conference that I was just at, G2E, out in Vegas, is that, X percentage of the players, they don't want to, it's not gamblers.
Sure.
Players are 60 and older. Now, granted, there's a combination of people that have either retired or have much more free time.
Right.
And again, disposable income. And they'll sit and play slots, which is amazing for any casino and resort.
Hours.
Right.
Hours.
And that's why Cruising the Coast with that demo, and I would probably say the average age is 60, maybe higher.
Really?
Now, 60 isn't 60 from years ago. If you've, taken care of yourself, then you see people 60 and 70 years old rolling around and roaming and doing things.
I had no idea that would be the median. I thought it was way younger than that. Because I have buddies that go. I have buddies that look forward to it.
I'm not saying that 35-year-olds don't go, but the overwhelming majority of people down there are over 60 years old for Cruising the Coast, which again is where the money is.
Yeah, if you're going to find
and it's where the people will patiently play 30 minutes to an hour and a half of slots several times while they're there, which is cake for the Island View or the Bow or the Hard Rock or Scarlet Pearl or
I would
Golden
love
Nugget or
to
whatever.
see a breakdown.
I'd like to see the slot revenue from this week.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see. Over 7 days cruising the coast, what is the revenue on slot machines on the Mississippi Gulf Coast? It's just a gazillion dollars. I just don't know how much.
How many are there on the Gulf Coast now? 15?
Because you've also got guys that will go out there and, quote unquote, kick the tires and talk about their, it doesn't do anything for me. All right. But you will have, but I've been at the Hard Rock when I broadcast for Cruising the Coast, and I've been somewhere else. I don't remember where else they put me, but, women will too, but men will go out there and quote unquote kick the tires on there could be 6 cars out there, and they're going to talk about it. They're going to drink coffee while their wives are playing slots together.
Nice, yeah.
Okay, now they may all end up doing it too, but that the model is brilliant to bring in people with money who will play slots.
Yeah, I mean,
the rest is just gravy. The car, they don't give a damn about
No.
it. They want you in front of a slot machine, having fun, talking to your friend, having a little beverage, whatever that is. You can have your little Diet Coke or you can have your little cocktail, and you're trying to hit that $2,000 or $10,000 jackpot.
Oh man, okay. Now let me give you these numbers and see if you think these are pretty decent numbers. Chat gave them to me.
You know who should be the master of ceremonies
The ambassador, or ambassador who
for
you
cruising
got?
the coast?
Who?
Cam Scattaboo.
Oh, because
I know it's during the season, but
it doesn't matter. Flying
in,
there.
flying out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if that kid,
All those 60 and 65-year-old women would just be petting his biceps.
love him.
Yeah. Put him in a 1956 Thunderbird
Oh, let him ride.
with the top off,
Yeah,
and
he still looks like a baby.
because he can't wear a shirt.
No.
I mean, if you're going to cruising the coast and you're Cam Scattaboo and you just took your shirt off on Thursday night
You
football
just take it
with
off.
Jackson Dart, and he and Fitzmagic ripped their clothes off.
Yeah.
Okay. Which don't kid yourself. Women across the country loved it.
Oh yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
Women love to look at guys just as much as guys love to look at women.
Right.
But you get Cam Scattaboo down there in workout shorts, and you just tell him let's say you can get him for like 2 or 3 days.
Oh my god.
And you just say, Cam, we want you to walk around on the coast without a shirt on.
don't ever have a shirt on.
60, 65-year-old women throwing themselves at him.
The only time you should have a shirt on is if you plan on ripping it off shortly.
Right. But he would get a pass. The Beau Rivage and the Hard Rock and all of them would
pass.
know
Oh yeah.
if Cam Scattaboo comes in, he doesn't have to wear a shirt.
No.
Yeah. And that's the deal.
And he should.
Because he just scored 3 touchdowns against the Philadelphia Eagles.
It's okay.
And had an unbelievable season at Arizona State,
Man,
because it's still a nightmare for Mississippi State fans, because last year he ran for 9,000 yards against them.
Like I said, I don't know how long he's able to do this, but I'm going to enjoy it while it's here because it's awesome.
So he runs like Mike Allstott.
Yeah.
Well, Adrian Peterson ran violently.
Did.
But
That's a good one, though.
But he's a smaller version, although I get he's big and strong, but he's a smaller version of Mike Allstott. I know Mike was more of a halfback, fullback, and Scattaboo's more of a tailback, halfback. But man, Scattaboo, good Lord have mercy. How many people, like in high school, guys can drag people.
Yes.
It happens. In college, guys can drag people. That doesn't happen in the NFL. Earl Campbell, Adrian Peterson. I mean, you have some examples. I get that, Derrick Henry. But Scattaboo is he's a little baller.
Dude, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what his workout routine was growing up. I don't know. I mean, it just, the way he drags him looks so natural to him. It's just like, I've been doing this forever. Will y'all get off my back? And that's the face I get out of it.
He's a tremendous talent, super athletic, strong, has great vision, and pound for pound, he's just an absolute badass.
I hope he enjoys it while it's here. Because when those tides change,
He'll be fine, and then he'll be able to go and make a fortune in new media.
oh my gosh, yes.
Okay?
He would do so well.
We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Martin's in Livingston. They have Elijah Craig bourbon. It's Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week. It starts today, and it goes all the way through the week. We're going to be bouncing around town next week. Spring Street Cigars on Tuesday. We want to see you there, 3:30 to 5 in the building where the Rogue Men's Store is located. Steve Palazzolo next. Hey. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Unbelievable schedule of games for this weekend. The SEC schedule's insane. Starting tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., Bama at Mizzou. Holy Mary Olzab. Let's go. I mean, Georgia at Auburn, Florida at A&M, South Carolina at LSU. The list goes on and on. Bama could get upset, by the way, tomorrow morning. That line's -2.5, so we'll see how that shakes out. Georgia and Auburn's going to be a damn dogfight. Florida and A&M, I expect that to be close. The list goes on and on. We'll see if A&M can separate themselves, but I'm not convinced of that quite yet. Jackson is. So we're live in the Bank Plus studio, and the SEC Insider Hit this morning is brought to you by Fowler GMC. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned GMC Sierra truck or GMC Yukon, Fowler GMC Pearl Brandon. And their website is fowlergmc.com, FOWLER. FowlerGMC.com, locally owned. And the Out of Bounds Show is driven by your next GMC Sierra truck from Fowler GMC in Pearl Brandon. We want to welcome in our friend, 6'10", AAA San Francisco Giants, NFL Podcast of the Year 2 years ago. His show, Check the Mic, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all that. Cincinnati Reds, I guess, fan. Steve Palazzolo joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. What'd you think about the intro, Steve P?
Wow, that was amazing. It's like you rattled off 20 years of my life all in a row there. That was great.
I feel good about it. I may retire after this show after that. But how you been? Hey, what do we all need to get Cam Scattaboo bobblehead dolls now before the rush goes?
Yeah, yeah, he's incredible. The guy's amazing. He's elevating your guy Jackson Dart, making him a star. All Scattaboo there.
Oh man, he is so damn good. So one of our listeners, I want to get your thoughts here, because we had somebody mention Mike Allstott and Christian Okoye, but somebody mentioned a smaller version of Peyton Hillis, and I like it. What do you think, Steve P?
Yeah, I've seen the Peyton Hillis comp come out there. The only thing I didn't like about any of those is I thought he had even more than that coming out, so I didn't want to just compare him to the guys who just run people over, but that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing in the NFL. But, like, the guy can catch out of the backfield, too.
Right.
Like, he's a really smooth athlete, too. He's not like a 240-pound mauler, but he plays with that type of power. Pretty incredible what he's doing. And, I mean, I've got a theory, too. You know, if a guy's just the best player on the field in big games, like Scattaboo was against Texas in the college football playoff, and you're like, this guy's just willing Arizona to victory. They're giving him direct snaps. He's throwing the ball. He's catching the ball. He's running it. I mean, there's something there, right? And that seems to translate, and that's, I think, what we're seeing from Cam Scattaboo right now.
So he's even – I mean, he's a fourth-round pick. You said that you love – look, we knew who he was from the jump last year, I think, before a lot of people, because he just abused Mississippi State for what I felt like was like 700 yards. I mean, just gashed them. And I didn't know who the hell he was, transfer from Sacramento State, but I definitely did from week 2 on in college football last year. And like you said, they had that amazing year at Arizona State, he and Dillingham and so on. But when you do a great job with the NFL draft, and when we were talking to you leading up, you were like, dude, I love this guy. And you actually you said you could justify him getting picked a lot higher than even before the draft. You said, because I said, what do you think? I think I said 4th or 5th round. You went, no, I would be okay with grabbing him in the 2nd round pick. So after you got to evaluate him, you liked him from the jump, didn't you?
I absolutely did. And, you know, I do some consulting behind the scenes for schools when it comes to the transfer portal, for NFL teams when it comes to the draft. He had been on my radar, Scattaboo, for a couple of years. I mean, coming out of Sacramento State, when he hits the portal, he had already been on the radar for a while, and the guy just continued to produce. And there were a lot of teams. It was a deep running back class. There were a lot of teams that needed running backs. The second round was a rich range for a lot of teams, expectation-wise. You get Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. You had a bunch of guys go there. Caleb Johnson went in the third. But I thought, when he got into day 3, I was like, all right, the Bears really needed a running back. I thought there were a lot of teams where Scadaboo would have been a good fit. And I think you see some of what he's bringing to the table for the Giants. So, yeah, I liked him a lot as a player. Had no issues with his – I think the lack of speed is the only thing people were worried about, but he's got plenty of quickness and everything you need up to 20 yards. I don't really care about long speed for him.
Absolutely.
And reminds me of David Montgomery in that sense.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would have had no problem taking Scadaboo as high as the second round.
Yeah, David, hell of a player there to reference. I like that. Steve Palazzolo, NFL Insider, brought to you by Stella Artois and Wings. That's a winning combo for this weekend. Cam Scadaboo, phenomenal game, phenomenal season so far, and not sure what to do with the Giants, but Jackson Dart's been inserted into the starting lineup. Scadaboo's playing, and also their defense. I mean, some of it is self-inflicted with the Eagles, but as you know better than we do, with all the players that they have on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they shut down Saquon in the second half. Hurts he's not capable of really throwing it for 40 times and winning like Dak and Mahomes and Josh and some other guys. AJ's still mad. Devontae Smith, Goddard. I mean, they got players. What is this, a Kellen Moore Super Bowl hangover? What's going on with the Philly offense?
It's tough to tell. I mean, there's been 4 coordinators there in 4 years for the Eagles. That's the first thing. And it's because you've got, coordinators get promoted when, two have been promoted, one has been fired, in the last 3 years. So they're on to 4. And there are multiple times in the Jalen Hurts era where the offense just looks stagnant. I mean, I don't have any other way to describe it. If you watch the Eagles this year, they go, 4 to 5 drives at a time without doing anything. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And there was like 3-4 straight 3 and outs last night and then a pick 6. Just an awful second half for the Eagles offense after they put up 17 pretty quickly. And so that feels like that has been connected to Jalen Hurts regardless of who the coordinator is. And I don't know how to best unpack that. They're a little boom or bust where it's either let's throw the ball down the field or let's throw some screens, throw some stuff underneath. There's no, the money spot in the NFL is that 10 to 19 intermediate range where the best quarterbacks just eat at that area, deep outs and in cuts and posts and seams. And Hurts doesn't throw the ball in that area at all, almost at a record level low right now. And so they're just not attacking offenses the way most pass games attack. And then Hurts doesn't throw to the middle of the field either. So that's the other thing. Like, with 4 coordinators in, there's some similarities for when the offense gets stagnant. They're all similar, each year. And this isn't to say Jalen Hurts is bad. I think there are just limitations to his game that pop up and help slow down the offense. Even though I think he's still a very good quarterback. Like, he's a good NFL quarterback who usually does just enough to win, but you also get into these lulls. And so I don't want to overreact too much, but remember in 2023, the Eagles looked like the best team in the league. They were 10-1. They beat the Super Bowl champion Chiefs in the regular season. They beat the Bills. They beat the Cowboys. They beat every team that was perceived as good in their first 11 games. And then they just fell apart and looked awful, and they may have been the worst playoff team I've ever seen. They never came out of it. They got smoked by the Bucs. This is what it feels like right now. Over the last 2 weeks, say 6 quarters of football for the Eagles. They're very dangerous in getting into that territory. And I don't know if it's fully Hurts, the new offensive coordinator, Kevin Petula. I don't know exactly what it is, but they need to figure it out because it just looks pretty bad. And it's about, 2 quarters at a time where this Eagles offense just completely disappears. They did it against Denver last week. They did it against the Rams a few weeks ago. They were down.
They should have lost that game.
Yeah, I mean, the whole first half. So you don't know when it's going to pop up, and it's tough to watch right now.
Okay. Steve Palazzolo, NFL Insider, his show, Check the Mic. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. The show is driven by your next GMC Yukon at Fowler GMC, Pearl Brandon. Let's go back to Scadaboo. So he's 5'10", 215 pounds. He's just a little wrecking crew, you know. I mean, he's here to stay, right? I mean, barring injury, what he is going, and teams will adjust to a certain extent, but what he is going to work going forward, right, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, he's not just Scatterbo. He's not just a battering ram.
Right.
He's got quickness to his game. He's a very good receiver. Like, he's not Christian McCaffrey good, but he was a smooth, catch the ball out of the backfield type of receiver, which is why I didn't like when people said, "Oh, he's Mike Allstott or he's Peyton Hillis," or I like the Christian Okoye comp. That was great. But because he's a smooth receiver as well. So he's a good runner, and he's going to finish plays. And then when you add that with the way Jackson Dart's playing, I almost want to ask you, did you think Jackson Dart was that special as a runner that the Giants are going to run, that they are designed run heavy with Jackson Dart this much? I mean, they're QB draws and powers and counters, and they're doing all that. You thought he was that special as a runner? That part surprised me a little bit with Jackson.
All right, here's why. Last year, they didn't have a running game, and Trey Harris, their wide receiver, went down for a chunk of the season, and they really weren't that good offensively, Ole Miss. But their defense was unbelievable under Pete Golding, and you know all about Walter Nolan and some of those, Trey Amos, some of those guys that were drafted. So he literally became, not only was he good at throwing the football, but he was their primary runner last year in not just non-conference, SEC play. And the dude took shot after shot, Steve, and got up. He's tough. So I was around him last year on I don't remember, a Thursday or Friday up in Oxford. I knew he was big, okay? He is a big dude, Steve. So, yeah, I don't know how long you can do this in the NFL because regardless of how big and physical you are, you still got to be careful. But, yeah, he carried their running game. See, the year before they had Judkins, Steve, but as you know, Judkins went to Ohio State. So the year before they had Judkins and another dude, and they could give Dart, some quarters off, really, and even some games. But last year, he took it on his back, and he was unreal.
Yeah, it's been impressive. And look, I thought after his first game against the Chargers, I didn't think he played that great.
Right.
Pass game wise, I didn't think it was very good. But he still found a way to win with his legs, and the defense made some big plays. I made the comparison just for that one game of what Tebow did early in the NFL, and it wasn't a derogatory comparison.
Sure.
Tebow came in and won a lot of games in an unorthodox style where he would only throw the ball a handful of times, not even complete a bunch of passes, but it shortened the game. The defense stepped up, and Tebow made plays with his legs. And I thought Dart got better in week 2 against the Saints. He dropped the ball for a fumble. There was a couple bad plays in there, but I thought he passed the ball better. And then you combine it with last night. He was dropping some dimes in there, Dart. I thought he threw a couple unreal passes that fell incomplete. So now you're combining. Look, I don't know if that this is his peak or this is the norm going forward, but his running ability as a scrambler, the design running game with Jackson Dart, but also his ability to throw the ball to, Will Jordan Humphrey and Wan'Dale Robinson. They didn't have big name receivers up there, and he was making it work. So I was really impressed with Jackson Dart last night because he added the pass game to the mix, and this Giants offense looked really good.
All right, well, now walk me through what you think. It's still early, but with the NFC East, Steve. So Philly was, as you just went over, was really fortunate to win early, and now they're getting dinged, and they should have lost to the Rams, as you and I discussed. And the Cowboys are good on offense and bad on defense. But if they can just improve at all, they may have a sliver of hope to get in. And the Giants may have something here with Dart and Scatterbo. And then you got the Commanders. So after what you have been able to watch the last 5 weeks, have you shifted to the Commanders as one, and then it's a free-for-all for number 2 in the NFC East? How do you see it?
I mean, not completely. I think it would be foolish to write off the Eagles.
Fair enough.
Given their track record. So the Eagles are still in the mix. But I'll say this, I think the division's loaded now. The point I made on the Cowboys, we can rattle off a lot of numbers that say this is one of the worst defenses we've seen in years. It's bad. But I don't think they should be that bad. So I think they'll get better. The Cowboys should not be as bad as they've been defensively. And they're, your guy Dak is overcoming all of the offensive line injuries, and we see around the league when teams have 2 or 3 injuries on the offensive line, the offense falls apart. And if anything, they've gotten better. Run game with Javonte Williams has been good. Dak's made incredible plays this year under pressure, and he maybe the best football of his career. And maybe he won't be able to maintain that, but I think they'll be a good team at the end of the day. Still have to rush the passer better, have to play defense better, but I'm just playing the law of averages. They're not going to be the worst defense in the league. So I think Dallas is going to be in the mix here. Maybe not to win the division, but they'll be competitive. And then you have Washington. They held it down with Marcus Mariota. Jaden Daniels is still very good. Defense scares me a little bit in Washington. I don't know if they're as consistent as some others, but it's a very good offense. And Jaden Daniels, his running ability to get the ball down the field. And then the Giants are just feisty. They're going to be really feisty. Now, they've got a stretch here. They've got the Broncos, then the Eagles again in 2 weeks, and then the 49ers. So it was a great win. They've won 2 out of 3, the Giants, but they're still in the middle of this really tough stretch to prove that they're capable. But, yeah, they have a good defensive line that can change the game, and if the offense does what they did last night, the Giants are going to be a tough out. I'll still say the Eagles are the best team, but they've got a lot to figure out on the offensive side of the ball right now.
Okay, so who's your MVP? Cam Scatterboo, Dak, or Baker? Oh, never mind. I know how much you loved Baker coming out. I can remember having you on, and you loved Baker, and then he went to the Browns, and nobody, for whatever reason, makes it at the Browns. And then he bounced around for a second, and he's just got unbelievable FU in him and perseverance and resilience. And now he's balling out. But Baker and Dak are just playing big-time footballs. But talk to me now. Let's switch over to Baker Mayfield. What are you seeing with Baker? Yeah,
I mean, we did like a 10-minute oral history of Baker Mayfield yesterday on our show.
I love it.
We did love him. Yeah, we did love him coming out, and he had his ups and downs in Cleveland and the whole deal. He's like early in his career, part of what I loved with him coming out of Oklahoma was the attitude, right? Like was the fact, I think I remember saying, like, I don't want to be the guy that doubts Baker Mayfield. I don't want to be that guy. Everyone doubted him. Walked on at Texas Tech and started, walks into Bob Stoops' office is like, I'm your next starter, wins the Heisman, the whole thing. I don't want to be the guy that doubts him. And you didn't always get that in Cleveland. At times you did. But he didn't have late game magic. Some of his accuracy was all over the place. Now all of a sudden it's like game's on the line. Baker's going to find a way to get it done. He's going to scramble, 3rd and 14. He's going to pick up 15. He's going to throw a pinpoint pass to Emeka Egbuka in the back of the end zone, whatever it is, to get the job done. And the fact that they've had 4 wins in the last minute, I think it speaks to what Baker's capable of. And then there's a little bit of luck, and that's tough to sustain and what have you. But I think he's doing a great job elevating that team because, like Dak, with all the offensive line injuries, Baker was without his left tackle for the first few weeks. Offensive line shuffled all over the place. Mike Evans hurt. His number 3 receiver hurt, and the offense has been excellent. So I think he's doing a great job and living up to some of the potential that I thought he had, 8 to 10 years ago when he was coming out.
This is incredible. Baker and Dak and Scatterboo. Absolutely.
Fun players.
Yeah, they're fun and their stories are amazing. And yeah, it's a ton of fun. And then Dart getting inserted into the lineup and playing with Scatterboo. This is crazy. And 2 of those 3 in the same division. So they'll play again. Cowboys and Giants play again. They played a couple weeks ago in a wild game and they'll play again. All right. So what is I ask you this most every week. It may be what you just went over, but what is or who is your surprise of the season to date, Steve P?
Good question. I mean, the Chiefs being 2 and 3, I think we have to bring up.
Fair enough.
And the fact that they're playing the Lions, and then the Ravens have to be the biggest one, just because of how before Lamar got hurt, it even looked awful. So I'd say the Ravens first. But if you looked at the schedule, one of the things I highlighted before the season was they're all playing each other. The Ravens, playing the Bills, Lions, and Chiefs 3 out of the first 4 weeks. Of course, like a disastrous start was on the table for Baltimore, the same way it was for the Chiefs. They had to play the Chargers, the Eagles, the Ravens, and now they're playing the Lions, and they lost to the Jags. So sometimes when you front load the schedule, you get teams that start 2-3, 2-4, and if the Chiefs go to 2-4, I mean, then you combine that with the Ravens starting 1-4, maybe 1-5. That has to be the story of the season for me. These annual juggernauts starting the season slow and then, giving other teams opportunities to shine. And then let's see if you can hold the Chiefs down. Let's see if you can hold the Ravens down for the rest of the season and throw the Eagles in there. So these top teams may be dropping off a little bit, giving some other teams some shine, but there's still a really, really long way to go. Let's not overrate that. The Rams started 1-4 last year and then finished in the final 8. So a lot of football to be played, but a lot of teams starting slow and seeing if they can dig themselves out of it.
I like where you're going. And there are some unbelievable games. Rams at the Ravens, 49ers at the Buccaneers, and Lions at the Chiefs. And there's more than that, but good grief. Aren't those great games, DP?
Yeah, especially, Chiefs Lions. I mean, there's so much on the line on Sunday Night Football. The Lions have won 4 straight. They look great. If the Chiefs fall to 2-4, you've got people saying, the dynasty's over and this and that. And it's like, yeah, they don't look the same, but like Mahomes at 2-4, we haven't seen anything like that. So that's what's on the line Sunday night against the Lions.
I can't wait. All right. Have you picked out I've only got a minute. Have you picked out your Halloween costume?
No, I went as a baseball player for like 8 straight years when I was a kid. So I wasn't all that creative.
Oh man. But your kids, you got 4 boys under 10.
Costume. Yeah, I have an elf costume that I just randomly walk around town with during the Christmas season. So maybe we'll bring that out.
Do you really do that?
I do.
That is incredible. What does your wife say?
I picked my kids up. She took the kids to Disney a couple years ago without me. I picked them up at the airport in the elf costume. They had no idea what to do.
Dude, that's a mic drop. That is so awesome. Funny. I mean, you're 6'10", and you're wearing an elf outfit.
I'm
Holy
thinking about going to the mall this year during Christmas time with the elf costume just to see.
No. You have to, and you have to put it. You have to go live on YouTube on your show page. My God, it'll probably be the most. I mean, I know you do well, but it'll probably be the most watched video you've ever done.
That's what we'll do this year. We're just going to walk around the Cincinnati big Kenwood Mall over here with with the elf costume.
And I just want you to casually sit down by Santa Claus while somebody has you on your YouTube video feed live. Oh my God.
We're doing it. So not Halloween, but Christmas time.
This is incredible.
All
right. Hey, have a good weekend. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Steve Palazzolo, his show, Check the Mic. You can find it on YouTube. And they've been talking Cam Scatterbo and Dak and Baker and all the fun stuff that's happening in the NFL. Scatterbo and Dark and that Giants D with a big win over the Philadelphia Eagles. Hey, go to YouTube right now. Search Out of Bounds Sports. I'm going to make a cocktail in the 3rd hour, an Elijah Craig Old Fashioned, as we kick off Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's 9 a.m. and this ain't okay show. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. As Mississippi's #1 morning show rolls on the Zone 105.9 and online at thezone1059.com.
All right. Good morning. Welcome in to the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. Good show today. We'll have Fat Jack Ross, Handicapper to the Stars, brought to you by an Elijah Craig Old Fashioned at 9:30. This is 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. And we'll have to do some of this.
Show me the money!
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Show me the money!
Yeah, I'm taking Alabama tomorrow in Columbia, so
Show me the money!
I'll take it and I'll win. And we'll see what happens with Eli Drinkwitz, who's a nerdy, but kind of got some.
He's kind of cool.
He's kind of cool,
He's
kind of
cool.
nerdy. Says whatever is on his mind, but in a different way than Lane.
Right.
They're he's more outgoing, but they're both really good with the media. And they're winning at a level of Alabama, Georgia, but they're at Missouri and Ole Miss. So it's unbelievable story. They're doing the best job in college football. Eli Drinkwitz and Lane Kiffin. I mean, so is Kurt Signetti at Indiana and Bielema at Illinois, and there's some other programs that have excellent coaching right now and evaluation. I don't know, Kurt Signetti at Indiana may be the best evaluator in the country. And I think that's what happens when you're overlooked the first 40 years of your career. And most everybody listening believes that they have overcome something somehow, some way, and they were overlooked or didn't maybe get a job or a spot or something. I don't mean like a clothes or a dress or a car, something like that. But I think when you see people like Kurt Signetti who didn't get the job that he wanted until he was 62 years old, and he stayed. It is so corny. It's not actually.
No.
We think it is what our parents told us and what you hear from like good mentors, that if you will stay in the saddle more times than not, good things will happen. As humans, we are inclined to quit and move on. Mm-hmm. And Kurt Signetti coached at places that you don't even know where they are. And that nobody went to the games. And at 62 years old, he gets a multi-million-dollar a year and even more than that contract at Indiana, and tells everybody in the press conference, Google me. I win. And people laughed.
Yeah.
And y'all know the whole thing, FAFO, right? Well, that's what happened with Kurt Signetti in Indiana, and then he took him to the college football playoffs. And he just beat a damn good coach in Brett Bielema a couple of weeks ago, 63-10. And he is not gonna take his foot off the accelerator. He doesn't give a damn. He's 64 years old. He waited 40 years. So for those of you who may not have it at 30, what you want, or 35 or 40, and you think, I've been somebody's done me wrong, and that's usually not the case. It's usually you control your own destiny, but there are exceptions. Or I'm not where I want to be. This guy coached at places obscure places you've never heard of. Now, did he coach under Saban at Bama? Yes. And he won a running ton of games once he got to be a head coach. And it was like, he started off at like Division VI. And it just goes to show you, he's what all of us aspire to be. And now he's making look, there were times 20 years ago, he was making $21,000.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's fair.
Okay. But he ran the roads, he ran the back roads of coaching.
Yeah.
And now he'll kick your what.
He'll let you know about it.
And let you know. But people laughed at his press conference when nobody knew who he was. We did because the Lions and Tigers and Crazy Pills was talking about him. Bartu. And you didn't know who he was. Nobody knew who he was. And then he got the job at Indiana. And people laughed. Thought, well, why are you hiring a 62-year-old from James Madison? Well, guess what? At Indiana, a place that can't even win in basketball anymore.
Right.
All right. Again, a place that's known for Bobby Knight. And really, that's it.
Yeah. What else is synonymous with them?
And,
Nothing.
Mark Cuban went there. Undergrad.
That's their claim to fame.
And, I get it. It is a good, it may not be great, but it's a really good, academic institution. But at 62 years old, he was hired. People laughed. He says, Google me, I win, in his press conference. And then he takes them to the college football playoff. It's an unbelievable story. It's an unbelievable MBA, College of Business story that should be presented of the things that I roll and everybody, of perseverance and resilience and a tremendous amount of FU. And it's glorious and it's beautiful and it's amazing and it's magnificent. And Kurt Cignetti may be the best evaluator in the country. And so there you go. Indiana Hoosiers are winning some in football, or winning a lot in football. All right. The Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. At 9:15, I'm making, to kick off Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week, I'm going behind the bar, and I'm making an Elijah Craig Old Fashioned. You want to watch it on YouTube. We've got the bar set up pretty well.
Yeah.
We'll may tinker with it a little bit. And we've got the cool old-fashioned cocktail kits. We're giving away one today. You can enter on the text line, and you may win. And here's how you enter. Are you listening on 105.9 The Zone or streaming? Where are you listening from? And where's your go-to for your best old-fashioned? I'll tell you who makes a great old-fashioned. The Briar Patch.
Oh, yeah.
In Livingston. Brian Eisenhood and JC.
Yes.
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. I'll make one not as good as theirs in the next segment at 9:15. Go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. Is that cool? I've got it right here. We're giving away an Elijah Craig old-fashioned cocktail kit. It's amazing.
Pretty cool.
So we'll make one. Go to YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. That's our channel. You can watch the show. YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports. And we'll tell you about Underdog Fantasy. And we'll have Fat Jack Ross, handicapper to the stars at 9:30. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Taste Italian Kitchen, who is participating in Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week. Taste Italian Kitchen for lunch and dinner. Fabulous, beautiful restaurant in Ridgeland in the Renaissance. All right, good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds show. I am standing behind the bar, and I think it looks good. Looks better. We still got to clean it up, but it looks better. I've got a ton of Elijah Craig cocktail kits around me because it's Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week starting today. I forgot to open the Elijah. Oh, I've got some in here. How about that?
All right.
I've got some in the Whiskey 61 decanter.
Product placement at its finest.
All right, which you can find that on whiskey61.com. We just rolled out some super high-end gentleman's brand gear or barware and leather goods, handcrafted in the United States. So I've got a Whiskey 61 decanter. I don't have to open this bottle of Elijah Craig bourbon. I do have the socks. Can you hear me good? All right. I do have the socks. You can go to YouTube and watch the show. Search Out of Bounds Sports. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling since this is a short segment.
And Facebook.
And that's how we're going to roll.
Yeah, that's good.
So, you know what I forgot?
What's that?
Do I need to worry about the garnish?
No, I was about to say the peel, meh.
It's back in my bag in the other room.
Well, if we were going to do that, we were going to have to get the smoking kit we got back there and like do it all the way through.
We'll do that next week. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we still got a week.
All right, so here we go. I want to show you kind of what we're doing here. This is a double bourbon or wine tote from Whiskey 61. And then inside it has a leather case called the Highlander. Isn't that pretty? All right, you open it. So you take this to a friend's house, bourbon tasting, tequila, whatever. Oh, man. And look at this. You got 2 Glencairn glasses in there. I know it. It's pretty.
That?
Made by skilled artisans. Actually, an Amish community here in the United States, which I think is amazing. Once you buy it, you only have to buy one of these in your life. And look, you can keep your bourbon in one side when you're going over to your buddy's house, and you can keep the Highlander with your Glencairn glasses right there.
Love a combo kit that we're already using for the old fashioned, but that's a combo kit in itself.
Isn't that beautiful?
And I love combos.
You love combos.
They're incredible.
You love Wendy's combos.
I do.
Okay, so I filled Whiskey 61 rocks glass. We'll give away a couple of these at some point. So I'm filling the rocks glass with ice, and I'm putting it back in because I want to do one straight up.
Right.
Even though I don't have the garnish, and I want to do one on the rocks. Is that cool?
I like it.
Okay. See if I have enough time here.
Man, that's great. That ambient noise from that ice is wonderful.
Elijah Craig.
Boom.
Thank you, Elijah Craig. We're going to make this old fashioned. I'm doing. This says 2 ounces.
Yeah, that's right. That's a typical.
All right, so that's good, right?
That's a shot.
Oh, ready? Elijah Craig. Thanks to Nick Fulton for this amazing bar shaker thing.
Shaker rules.
What else am I doing? Espresso. What's great about these kits is the old-fashioned mix just comes in it. Elijah Craig, it's easy. All right. So we'll do a 1/2 ounce. Is that cool with you?
I like it.
Okay.
I mean, if that's what the directions call for, they know better than I.
Yeah. All right. And we'll do a little of this. You want to do a little simple, sir?
I mean, you got to have it down here, right?
Yeah, no doubt.
Staple of my diet.
Ooh. All right. I don't have the garnish. We'll have that next week. I think we're doing good today.
Well, I mean, we got a whole
Go to
other
YouTube,
week, baby.
search Out of Bounds Sports. Let's see what we got here. There's the Whiskey 61 decanter, whiskey61.com. Here's the double bourbon or wine tote. Glencairn glasses, whiskey glass. This is great. I feel good.
Good.
Oh, I want to show the socks. We gave away some of these yesterday. We'll give away another pair. We'll throw them in with the.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly
we'll
what
throw
we'll
them
do.
in with the Elijah Craig cocktail kit.
Gotta have a combo.
Is that cool?
Yes.
Am I getting all this in the?
Yeah, I mean, it's all maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
And you get a pair of these socks.
Yeah, I love those.
Here you
socks.
go.
Nice. Ooh.
Oh, the
That was almost-
LSU helmet knocked him down.
That was almost a very
Damn.
perfect throw.
Oh, well.
Like it was going to
Not my
slide
fault.
right where it needed to.
Better throw than Garrett Nussmeier. Just kidding.
Man, leave that guy alone, man.
Damn, those shots
It
fired.
was. He's hurt, man.
You feel that?
He's hurt. Yeah, you got to use the two hands.
By the way, I'm wearing a Jack Victor coat from the Rogue. Okay? Is this pretty or what?
I like
I've
that.
never worn a
It's a good
sport,
look.
but I thought kind of a classy look while I was bartending for Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week,
It looks good.
wearing a Jack Victor coat from the Rogue Men's Store.
It looks really good. I like it.
Okay. And shirt. And
Shirt looks comfy.
I got these Wolf and Shepherd shoes, whatever. All right, ready?
Hit me.
Hit you. Let's do this thing. Glen Whiskey 61 Glencairn glasses, but we're going to go with. Should I put it in this glass? It looks pretty cool.
I like
Or
that
should I do the
glass.
Glencairn?
I think you could do both, honestly.
Okay.
Oh, what a beautiful pour. That's just very aesthetically pleasing to me right now.
Looks a little light.
It does. That's probably a good thing for 9:20 a.m. Tell it to me.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do one more. I know I'm pressed for time, but I don't care.
You got three?
We've been live for 22 years. We're always pressed for time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it again. Let's see what we got here. And we'll do it in the. You know what?
Where are you going with this?
I'm gonna do this.
Nice. Audible.
All right. I'm gonna. Oh hell.
Yeah, you're
At least
good.
I didn't say the word I thought I was gonna say.
Right, you're good.
Woo! All right. No, I need to use this.
Boom. Yeah, I'm glad they include that in the combo kit.
The jigger?
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing's, it's in the
Yeah.
old-fashioned
Love that.
cocktail kit.
They come in handy.
Should I put a little more bourbon in there?
I mean,
I think it was two shots.
It was a little. Okay, probably is.
Okay. I'm not going to drink these. I mean, I'll sip on them.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Where's the, oh, here
it's
we go.
9:30, but you know,
Yeah, but it's
it's Friday.
2:30 in England.
Good point. And it's 7:30 in
0.5.
Vegas. Where they're wrapping
Here
up
we
their
go.
night.
Boom. Maybe a little too much there, but we're fine.
Like it.
I'm gonna go a little less here.
Okay.
Boom. Okay.
Splash.
All right. Boom.
Two-handed.
Go to
shake.
YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. In the Jack Victor coat from the Rogue Men's Store, celebrating Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week. We'll be at Spring Street Cigars from 3:30 to 5 on Tuesday. We'll tell you about that Monday and Tuesday. And we'll be at Taste Italian Restaurant from 4 to 5 on Wednesday. Oh, that looks.
There she goes, right there.
I'm getting there.
I mean, dude,
I'm having to polish, you know.
cobwebs off, man. Knock them
That's
off.
not bad.
No. Just sniffing a taste.
Oh, wow, that's better. Damn. That's good. Maybe guys would probably want a little bit more bourbon, but it's not bad. Okay. All right. That was your one of many Elijah Craig Old Fashioned segments for Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week, raising money for the service industry and those that don't have health insurance.
We got a whole nother week, baby.
Yeah, we got all next week. All right, so we'll come back with Fat Jack Ross, Fat Jack Sports.
man. Good week this week. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We were in Las Vegas Sunday through Wednesday. Did a couple of shows there. Nothing like doing shows from the 38th floor of the Cosmopolitan overlooking the Strip. And crushed it. Still created some content on the road, back. A couple of shows in studio. Everything's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. Also, a good bit of it's on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. Show is brought to you by Elijah Craig, Old Fashioned Week. And it starts today all the way through next week. We'll be hopping around some fabulous bars and restaurants throughout the week, and we'll tell you where we're going to be next week. We want you to come out and see us and celebrate Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week as they raise money for service industry workers who don't have health insurance but are hurt in some way, shape, or form, and they pay for it. And they've raised well over $500,000, and they're getting it kicked off again today. Taste Italian Kitchen is in. Beautiful, obviously, Italian restaurant in the Renaissance. They're participating. Spring Street Cigars, rooftop bar on the first floor. Second floor is a huge humidor with Davidoff humidor inside it, among other wonderful cigars. So we're going to be partying next week in honor of Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week. Speaking of partying, we want to welcome in our friend Fat Jack Ross, FatJackSports.com, handicapper to the stars. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. This is 105.9 The Zone ESPN. And Fat Jack, good morning. This SEC schedule tomorrow is epic and insane, and I cannot wait. How about you?
Yeah, we're getting in the middle of it, and we got OU Texas, of course, and then three other games for sure. Actually, more than that, but three other games that are going to really tell a lot about what's going to happen the rest of the season. So, yeah, excited about that. Players props, Bo, won 15 games of profit last week again. So 10 2 weeks ago, 15 last week, 25 games of profit with those player props. So we were 2-0 in soccer yesterday, and actually that's 3-0 start to the soccer weekend with a plus 185. So lots of reasons to go to FatJackSports.com, but primarily we've got a huge SEC schedule, and we're going to have a lot of that released this weekend. Some of it for only $44. So I run this once a year special. We'll talk about it at the end. But great time to get signed up. Great time to start winning.
Oh, all right. $44 Fat Jack Sports. We'll hit that in a minute. Let's start with Alabama at Missouri. These are two good football teams. I've got it at -2.5. Bama going on the road. They've come back with two good wins over Georgia and Vanderbilt. This is going to be another physical game. Drink is doing a great job in Columbia. Prabula from Penn State is a hell of a player. Ty Simpson's playing better. Handicap this one for me, Fat Jack.
Yeah, this one and Georgia both, I think, are a couple of games that are kind of head scratchers to the general public. They're going to say, now what? Alabama's only 2.5-point favorite on the road. Missouri's good, but I think nationally you would think that Alabama would be more of a favorite. But Missouri's defense is for real. I mean, this team averages giving up less than 15 points a game. They've given up less than 20 yards rushing a game in a number of games this year. And Alabama's defense is elite. It's next level. They figured some things out since Florida State. So the better play in this one to me is under the total. I don't think there's going to be a bunch of points. I think actually all three of the kind of quote-unquote marquee games in the SEC have very similar agendas as far as what the coaches are going to want to do. And it boils down to don't make mistakes, don't give away extra possessions, and at the expense of not throwing it down the field as much, not taking unnecessary risks. So look for under plays, basically typical SEC smash mouth football in both Alabama, the Georgia-Auburn game, and OU Texas. All three of those, I think, lean toward the under first and foremost. And if you're one of those that doesn't understand why Alabama's only a 2.5-point favorite, why Georgia's only a 3.5-point favorite, and you can't figure out OU Texas because of material, whether he's playing or not, people know more than you do, and that's okay. You don't know everything. I don't know everything. But I know enough to know that when a line looks fishy, it's either play the other side or more times than not, don't play the side, find better, easier places to make money. So under is the better play in the game. A lean toward Missouri plus the points.
Okay. All right. You mentioned Oklahoma and Texas. You may advise to stay away from it because of Mateer. He was listed as questionable, as you and your team know. On a neutral field, Texas looks like they don't they don't have an identity on offense. Kwiatkowski, the DC, has been carrying this thing for a while. He even carried it last year. So do you touch this game, or you just go, you know what, there's too many other games, I'm passing without knowing what Mateer's going to be?
No, I like this game. And by the way, he's been upgraded to probable. The numbers
okay.
jump the fence. So basically, it's as his health goes, the number goes. So OU was a 3.5-point underdog when it first opened. It went to 3. Then there were some grumblings Mateer might play. Then it went down to Texas being a 1-point favorite. Now you can get Oklahoma as a favorite, or in my case, Texas as an underdog in a couple of different houses. I think Oklahoma, winter's coming for the Sooners. The SEC schedule is getting ready to get real serious for them. Their big wins this year have both been at home against really inept offensive teams. And I put Auburn in that, although they've shown some signs of scoring. Michigan's not scoring against much of anybody, and everything's been in the friendly confines of Owens Field. And so this team, I don't care if Mateer plays or not. I think Texas does enough defensively to disrupt what Oklahoma wants to do offensively with really a suspect offensive line. They don't really run the ball effectively. Only had 62 yards or something against Auburn. I think defensively, Texas is going to have an opportunity to get some short fields for their offense, to get some turnovers. And, yeah, Arch Manning can't throw it in the lake or the ocean part of the time. But offensively, I expect a little more variety, and I think this is a low-scoring game in which you're going to have most of the pressure on the Sooners late in that game because they're undefeated and because they think they're something they're really not. I think that you're going to get some pressure up on Mateer, or if he gets hurt, which I think is 50-50 at best if he plays, that injury's not anywhere near healed. He's going to be in a lot of pain. Their backup doesn't throw it well at all. So under the total in that one, I like the Longhorns minus the points here. Also, another one, though, is you've got a ranked team, 6th in the country, that's undefeated, that is either a pick'em or the smallest of favorites against the 3-2 team that happens to have played some people. That's a red flag for most of the general public. So I like the Longhorns minus the points.
All right, Fat Jack Ross, fatjacksports.com. He's been on a roll this year. He joins us on the Out of Bounds show, brought to you by Stella Artois and Wings. That is a winning combo for the weekend. You mentioned Georgia and Auburn. Yeah, and you mentioned Hugh Freeze and Jackson Arnold have not been able to get this thing going. But I expect this to be a close game. On the Plains, 100,000. I've been down there. Good grief. People going crazy, all of that. Auburn's D is good. Georgia is good on both sides of the ball, I think, Fat Jack, but far from dominant what they were 3 or 4 years ago. How do you see this one?
And Georgia 1-5 against the spread their last 6. And Auburn, one of those teams that is able to muddy things up and keep things close against teams that are better than them. And so I think this goes right down to the wire. Again, most, if not all, the pressure will be on Georgia in this spot. It is on the road. Again, the same with Missouri, Alabama. I think 2 of these 3 teams lose on Saturday. And so if I told you last week that Carolina was going to win and Tennessee was going to win and all the teams that happened in the NFL were going to win, you would have called me crazy. So I'm going to give you something else, and people drive around and be rolling their eyes. I think 2 of these 3 lose, either Ohio State, Georgia, or Texas A&M. 2 of the 3 of them lose. This will be that Saturday, that quote-unquote upset Saturday that we typically get sometime in the month of October. Florida playing much better now. They beat up on Texas last week. Lagway's not turning the ball over. A&M, I think, is a little bit suspect for where they are. And they almost always lose the game exactly like this when they're not supposed to, when everybody down there thinks in College Station thinks they're going to win the national championship. So and I to keep an eye on all those. Definitely don't play the favorite in all those, because that's going to be a losing formula, in my opinion, this weekend.
All right, some of the larger spreads. Let's go with 2. Arkansas, 11.5 underdog, and South Carolina 9.5. So who has a better shot of covering, LSU or Tennessee, or neither?
Yeah, I think Tennessee, and I'm in the minority as far as sharp gamblers go. This game was 13.5, 14 when it opened. Now it's down to 11. So you do have a bunch of sharp players thinking that the Razorbacks are in a circle the wagon situation, that they will give Tennessee all they want. I don't see that. Tennessee at home scores a ton of points. Arkansas 1-4 against the spread their last 5, and their games are going over. All right, over the total is the better play in this game, but Arkansas 5-1 to the over their last 6. Tennessee 9 in a row to the over. If they get in a shootout, I like Tennessee's ability to get a stop more times than not against Arkansas versus the opposite way around, especially in Knoxville. So, yeah, I think Tennessee and the over in that game, a couple of good things to look at. The other one to take a look at, Bo, we probably won't talk about unless I bring it up. I bet Texas Tech to win the national championship at 80-1 right after the Utah game. And I had released them every game before that. This is a team undefeated against the spread. People cannot get it through their head. This is not a West Texas football team. This is Ohio State. This is Oregon. This is Georgia. This is Alabama. That's the players that have been paid to play football in West Texas this year. This is a much better team than people know, and they're in an inferior conference. Now, do I think they're going to win the national championship? Probably not, but they do have a shot. But just like when I gave you the Steelers, I gave you the Rams, and I gave you the Buccaneers, all at better than 20-1 before the NFL season to bet to them to win the Super Bowl. I don't have to win the national championship at 80-1. I just have to get them in the playoffs. And I think I not only get them in the playoffs, Texas Tech, that is, I think I get a buy out of them. And when I do, I will hedge that back and guarantee myself that money once we get in the playoffs. So there's still some value. They're still over 20-1. If it was the NFL, I'd be licking my chops at it. But just take it, just a sprinkling. Just give yourself $100. You guarantee yourself 100 as long as they keep doing what they're doing.
I love it. Fat Jack Ross, fatjacksports.com. Tell me about the $44.
Yeah, $44. I run this once a year. It's for guys that have been sitting on the fence and or getting beat on their own. You get 4 NFL games, 4 college games, and at least 4 players props. You're going to get more like 8. But $44. So you don't have to talk to anybody. There's no upselling. You're getting the top plays, top 4 college, top 4 NFL, and the players props all this weekend. They're Saturday and Sunday. So get signed up, fatjacksports.com. You don't have to talk to anybody. You get the picks on a personal portal. They're emailed to you. You get a recommended betting guide that tells you what to do with them, and you will actually make money this weekend betting the games for only $44. It's a once-a-year deal. Get signed up, win, and then take that profit and sign up for a longer package on Monday before that doubleheader Monday night. fatjacksports.com. Sign up today and win this weekend.
All right, before we get out of here, do you want to profile or preview an NFL game or two real quick?
Yeah, so let's go over with Washington, Chicago. All right, Chicago's the worst team in the league versus the run. Washington got 27 points against the Chargers last week. They're scoring. And look for the Jets to do – listen, if I'd given you the Giants last night, you'd call me crazy. But look for the Jets to do what all of those teams did last week that were down big and won their first game. I think the Jets actually have a chance to win this game. We see teams that have big emotional wins that then have to travel come flat the next week this time of year. San Francisco's in that after their win against the Rams, and certainly Denver after beating Philly. They have to go overseas the first thing in the morning on Sunday, take the Jets plus the points.
Oh, that's in London, England. I see where you're going, Fat Jack. All right, fatjacksports.com. He's got a $44 special this weekend. 4 college games, 4 NFL games. He only does it once a year. fatjacksports.com. He is Fat Jack Ross. He joined us on the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Have a great weekend, my man. Thank you.
All right, Bo. Take care. See you soon.
Fat Jack Ross, fatjacksports.com, $44. 4 college games, 4 NFL, $44. 4 college games, 4 NFL, Fat Jack Sports, fatjacksports.com. That was brought to you by Stella Artois and Wings. Martin's in Livingston this afternoon. Ice cold Stella. Order about 4 dozen wings with some buddies and get ready for the weekend. That was fun. I mean, I thought Palazzolo was unbelievable. If you miss Steve Palazzolo on the show, Fat Jack was just really good. He's fun, energy. Works perfect for our show. Professional. Legit. But Steve Palazzolo, NFL Insider, basically went 20 minutes on Cam Scatteraboo, Dak Prescott, and Dart. It was awesome. And they're in the same division. So we're going to get Dart and Dak again. I'm sorry, we didn't the first time. That was Russell Wilson, who actually balled out. But Dallas decided not to cover anybody deep that game. Y'all remember a couple weeks ago. But the next game, if things line up, I'm assuming and God forbid Dak or Dart get hurt, we will get Giants Cowboys. Dart versus Dak Mississippi State, Ole Miss, all that. And then, of course, you got Cam Scattaboo, which the Cowboys passed on. And we talked about that last year, how they should have taken him. They could have had him in the second or third round. And the Giants got him, hell of a pick. And Steve Palazzolo was unbelievable. So that's on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. It will also be on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounce. Speaking of fun, here we go. You make picks and win money right now in Mississippi. And Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at Packers and Bengals, and I'm selecting Josh Jacobs for higher than 16.5 fantasy points. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code OUTOFBOUNDS to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code OUTOFBOUNDS. Underdog. Make picks. Win money.
Must be 18 and older and present in Mississippi. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play-and-get-terms_DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
I want to say congratulations to Charles Huff and the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. I watched a chunk of that game last night. Southern Miss wins 38-35 over Georgia Southern. And Braylon Braxton threw for 237 and 2 TDs, no picks, 19-28. Braylon Braxton, who transferred from Marshall with Charles Huff and is a good player. But Jeffrey Pittman, who was at Mississippi State last year, Hines, then MSU, transferred to Southern Miss. Jeffrey Pittman, 31 carries, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns. All right, congratulations to the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, who are 4-2. All right, and they are staring a bowl game right in the face. And Jeremy McLean, athletic director at Southern Miss, who's a good dude, and Charles Huff, head coach at Southern Miss, tip of the cap. You've seen a lot of, you've witnessed a lot of improvement from Jeff Lebby and Mike McIntyre and Paul Rhodes and that staff and players. Congratulations to it's not, I don't care what level. I say it all the time. Y'all get tired of me saying it. I don't care if you're playing 1A tennis, MAIS, MHSAA. You win it. You win game. You win matches. Your team advances. You get unbelievable. Southern Miss, good road win, 38-35. Clay Helton's the coach at Georgia Southern. He couldn't find his way at Southern Cal, but has had success at Georgia Southern, and they have won for 40 years. I mean, they win down in Valdosta. They play high school football like madmen, and they have won down at Georgia Southern. Remember, Mummy and Mike Leach went through there, but even before then, they may have gone through Valdosta. But anyway, Georgia Southern wins. They did go through Valdosta. But Georgia Southern has won for decades, all right? And Clay Helton's there, former Southern Cal head coach. Southern Miss wins 38-35. Braylon Braxton, let's give a game ball to Braylon Braxton and a game ball to Jeffrey Pittman for Southern Miss, brought to you by Eye Care Professionals and Dr. Kirk Jeffries. If you need cataract surgery, routine eye exam, LASIK surgery, Eye Care Professionals, call them today. If you need cataract surgery, or if you or your son or daughter need to see the tennis ball, the softball, the baseball, the football, crossing routes, whatever. We need to be able to see, right, if we're going to play sports at a high level. All right, we got to have the right contacts, the right glasses, the right, all that. Can you imagine what Jake Mangum's vision is? It's got to be incredible. I always think about that with MLB guys who can see a ball moving at 98 miles per hour, and you got 0.2 seconds to figure out what it is as far as the seams. But Eye Care Professionals, 2 locations on Lakeland Drive. Game ball to Braylon Braxton, QB1 at Southern Miss, and a game ball to Jeffrey Pittman. 31 carries, 140 on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Congratulations to Charles Huff. All brought to you by Eye Care Professionals, 2 locations on Lakeland Drive. All right, cool.
He was throwing. I mean, some of the balls that guy was throwing last night.
Heater.
Oh my gosh,
dimes.
It looked great.
Love it. It's National Hug Kevin Day.
Kevin.
So if you know a Kevin works at Taste Italian Kitchen.
Big Kev.
Yeah, K-Money.
Yeah.
I saw him yesterday when we stopped by there to go over Elijah Craig Old Fashioned Week.
Great guy.
And K-Money's a super guy. So if you know a Kevin,
I'll give him a hug.
Give him a hug. All right. Order an Elijah Craig Old Fashioned at Taste Italian Kitchen today and give my buddy K-Money, Kevin, a hug. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
In fact, it's awesome. I love giving people a hug.
I might go give him one anyways. He needs a hug sometimes.
Yeah. Are you getting dressed up for Halloween?
We never really do that. The dog will. We'll dress the dogs up.
Okay. You get dressed up when you go see Santa Claus,
correct.
and you dress up the dogs, and then you send them out 38 Christmas cards, 35 of them are women.
That's correct.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, we do need to figure out what we're gonna wear.
Who, as a guy, why would you have men on your Christmas card list?
That's
right.
If it was majority men, I think we'd have a problem here.
I agree. 35-3. I like that.
Yeah, it's the right ratio.
Yeah. Some ex-girlfriends and their moms, which I think is fantastic.
The guys that are on it are other guys that do Christmas cards. There's a couple of us.
Oh, really?
Well, there were 2. There was an SAE guys, a couple of SAE guys whenever we were in Starville, but they started like they literally would they take a Christmas pic together every year.
Did they really?
Yeah, they grow terrible mustaches and they did.
Oh,
it's pretty funny. I mean,
awesome.
It's really good. It's a satirical Christmas card. It's incredible.
All right. Good show this week. Here we go. You can make picks and win money right now in Mississippi, and Underdog is the best place to go. Get in on all the action. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. This week on Underdog, I'm looking at Packers and Bengals, and I'm selecting Josh Jacobs for lower than 16.5 fantasy points. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code Out of Bounds to score $100 in bonus funds or bonus entries. When you play your first $5, that's promo code Out of Bounds. Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 and older and present in Mississippi. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.